3, 2, 1, and we're live. Guys, welcome back to the Qbox. My name is Nelson.
And I'm Devin.
Man, season 1 is literally almost up, man. This is the last actual episode of the season, man. Episode 12. I mean, we passed the milestone of that 7. That number, what was it, 7? The 7th episode?
7. Yeah, I think, when we researched it was 7.
Crazy, man.
Average is 7. So.
And I'll be honest with you, it for me, it felt really effortless. It just felt like a good ride. I don't know how you feel about it, though.
Oh, absolutely. It's been a good ride, brother. It's been fun. And again, I think for both of us, we're still learning, and that's where we ask for the feedback. We ask for any form of commentary, whether it's from family, whether it's from friends, whether it's from, people that we don't know, which again, we look at you guys as family, not even just as friends. But it has been fun. And for us, we can't say it enough. We truly want to learn. This is a new industry that we're tapping into, and really learning about us, learning how we sound, and listening to ourselves. And I know we're both freaks, and freaks in a good way in terms of just, we're very analytical when it comes to data. So
I was gonna say, and when you say freak, what are you insinuating here?
Yeah, no, nothing like that, man. No, I know, brother. Yeah, but no. Again, to get what you're saying, man, or get back to what you're saying. Yeah, this has been fun, and each week we're truly just, hey, how can we tweak this here? How can we tweak that there? And like we said, we do take this serious. So I know we've already mentioned it, but yes, any feedback you guys have, any commentary you have, please feel free to send that, in any form. And when I say any form, through our social media page. I know we put out our email address, meaning on our actual show notes. So you definitely have as many channels to get to us, or even
Absolutely.
if there's things you want to know more about us as we go into season 2. Please don't be afraid. We honestly are very open people. I know some people say that, but they're not. But we truly are. So.
No, one word. If I could give me and Devin, or Devin and I, excuse me, for all you proper freaks, who to describe who Devin and I are, I would say really transparent. Oh, excuse me, transparent. Just to give it one word, and
absolutely, brother.
and for us, it's just really important that what you see is what you get, and so. Guys, this is why, this is the 12th episode, and honestly, it feels still like number 2 or 3. If
it does, it came quick. So
it definitely arrived very, very quickly. And,
it's almost like December came. I know a lot of people probably can feel that way. It seems like this year it's just went slow at different parts of the year. And then I look up, I'm like, man, it's already December. It's crazy.
Absolutely. So guys, if this is your first time actually tuning in to our podcast, definitely do us a favor and go ahead and subscribe to our podcast via YouTube, as well as every streaming, major streaming platform. Guys, we're everywhere. We want to make ourselves accessible to everyone to hear our story and hear what we're talking about on every episode. I just wanted to make a special quick announcement. We are currently working on our official website for the Qbox podcast website. So
that's going to be exciting.
Yeah, well, right now we're in the process of planning it out, and we're still in the talks of it, and in terms of what we're doing. And so right now, the only place you can really find us is on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter as well, like every social media. Yeah, TikTok as well. We post a lot of our clips there, funny ones, as well as, the quotes that we like that just kind of pop out of nowhere in the midst of our podcast journey. So we love you guys. And, this is episode 12 of season 1. And guys, we're getting ready to turn it up come season 2, episode 13 and beyond, because we really want to take the opportunity to really just educate the people and really just lift. That's what we're all about. We're, in my opinion, brother. I'm different, you're different from me, but we're also very much, the same in many ways. I'm a, philanthropist when it comes to just being positive and lifting people, and I really, really have a big soul for that, Devin, feel free to elaborate on that as well.
Yeah, I think, Like you said it best, brother. I mean, yeah, I mean, we definitely are about lifting people. And again, I don't want to sound like we're saying the same things on each
No,
episode,
it's
but
fine, man.
it really is the truth. But yeah, but again, just going into season 2, we're super pumped.
Hell
And
yeah.
again, you've already kind of alluded to, or we both have alluded to having guests on here, because as much as, Nelson and I could talk about our perspectives, eventually, and we get that, you can say, hey, it'd be really nice to hear maybe some different perspectives, which again, that just helps us with our journey, that helps us with our growth.
Correct.
And as we bring on guests, we'll always give our perspective. And again, there's a lot of layers to us. So we'll always include that, because that's who we are. We could never get away from that and say, well, hey, we're just going to bring on a guest and not, if you will, put in our perspective here and there, because
Right.
that's just, again, that's part of our journey. So, but yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So guys, like, it's really been, for us, it's been quite a learning curve for us, because we're learning as we go. And, before we go ahead and jump into today's episode, man, I just wanted to tell you, Devin, man, thank you so much for taking a dive with me on this journey.
Absolutely, bro.
Because this has been such a strong vision of mine for many years. Actually, I wanted to really get into a podcast, and I think we mentioned it in prior episodes, but like, just you and I were having a conversation one day, and I was just like, "Fuck, man, this is the guy." He was in front of me the whole time. My best friend of 20 plus years, craziness. So thank you so much for believing in the same vision, having the same concepts, and I mean, man, you're just, a fucking rock star, man. And in terms of your contribution to putting things together, and quickly, sometimes we have deadlines, and you definitely meet, with the many other ventures you have going on in your life at the moment.
Both of us.
I really do appreciate you just being on board, man, and rocking and rolling, brother. So
same to you, brother. Man, again, obviously, thank you for bringing it to my attention, because I would have never even thought about it. I mean, obviously, like you said, as much I listen to podcasts then, and I still do now. Probably not as much now, and that's just because, as we say, life gets busier. But yeah, man, thank you for letting me be a part of this journey, brother, and letting me speak my truth. Let me hear your truth. Letting me continue learning about you, man, and you continue learning about me, because it's cool, man. It's cool. It's fun. Obviously we've shed some tears, and I'm just kind of wrapping up season 1, man. I think to have that much in 12 episodes, man, that's a lot. Again, to really put ourselves out there. And I know we say it all the time, but it's not that easy. Obviously, as the weeks, continue on. Yeah. Me and Nelson have became more comfortable, which obviously is important. And hopefully you guys can feel, that we've evolved, listening from episode 1 to episode 12, we definitely have become more comfortable. So
I was freaking out, man. I'm not going to lie. The first episode, I'm like, how in the world are we going to do this?
Yeah. I mean, exactly, man. For sure.
Interesting. Yeah.
No, I mean, it's been fun. I can't say it enough. And again, when we jump on here, man, we truly don't know. I truly don't know what your responses are going to be to things I ask you. You don't know what my responses are going to be. We purposely keep it that way. So nothing is scripted. It truly is off the rip every single time we jump on here. But that's what makes it organic, because it's like, okay, I don't know what you're going to say. You don't know what I'm going to say. And then a lot of times that truly does. That leads us to a whole nother path, a conversation or conversations, to where we're like, man, okay, I didn't expect to cry on this one, man, and vice versa. You made, we both shed some tears, man, but at the same rate, it's all helpful development, man, and I've said it. I feel like this podcast is, even in my personal life, it has just really just helped me grow a lot, man. And we both have said that to one another multiple times. Like, man, I'm like, do you feel like this podcast in its own way has just helped you really understand your own voice? Because I think that's another thing. Hearing our own voices, recorded and watching ourselves on video, it really just gives you kind of an eye opener, in the way I speak, which I'm clearly not perfect, but that's a lot of things that I look at now. Like, man, okay, I realize when I'm speaking this way or that way, I'm like, I notice it a lot more, because it
makes you become more self-aware in a sense, right?
That's the best. Yep. Best word.
It really it really defines the true definition of being self-aware, I feel. And I never saw myself speak. I've always heard myself sing. So
right. Yeah, I guess, yeah, true. And for me, I never heard myself over because I've never recorded a professional studio song. So I don't even know what that sounds like for me
by the
versus
way,
you
that's going to
have.
change. I'm going to change that. But,
Yeah.
you know me, I got to break him in, my brother, you know.
Exactly. Hey, this was already breaking me in, meaning the podcast, but this broke us both in. So
Yeah. But I wanted to, well, like in terms of that, what I wanted to just shed light on, and then we jump straight in.
sure.
It's you know, for me, it's really important, man, because you know when you do become self-aware, it just really enables you to, yeah, man, as we've been saying, just become better uh, and being able to just touch people, man, and just do what you're supposed to do, you know. Right, I feel 100% that we are on a really good path, man, and we are in a really good way. And I think if we are able to, yeah, just keep it going, man. Just don't change anything crazy, you know. Just
For
stay
sure, brother.
ourselves, you know. It's gonna be effortless. And you know, for those who are listening right now, this is raw and to the point. You know, we love what we're doing right now, and it's
We do.
obviously, you know, real. And but anyway, guys, we're gonna jump right in, man. Um, so yeah, Devin, what's on your mind, brother?
I was gonna say what's on my mind is actually what you shared with me earlier before we even started recording, how there was some artist or someone that
Oh yes, yes, yes,
commented on a
yes.
post on
Oh,
Instagram that you put out, man.
thank you
So
for reminding me.
share that with the audience, man.
Yeah, so uh, once in a while, you know, as you guys know, I'm a recording artist. Been singing and songwriting and producing records for, you know, I say 20 years. I'd say for production, I say about 14, 15 years. But you know, I got a head start with the music as a singer. So, always had instruments in my life. Always started my first instrument actually was the trumpet. I don't know if you knew that, Devin.
I again didn't know that. I
Yeah,
was gonna say piano, but no,
yeah.
didn't know that.
So besides the obvious, and you know, in terms of like my father being there, and you know, me seeing him sing all the time, and playing the piano and the guitar and everything, like, you know, things like that, I did notice what really sparked me. I remember I was in the fourth grade, and I always had many dreams, many aspirations. You know, this, like, I was just trying to find myself identity. You know, in a sense, you know, I was trying to find myself. You know, and I know this fourth or fifth grade. You know, go figure. It's fourth or fifth grade, bro. You're a baby. What the hell are you talking about? You know, but you'd be surprised what the thoughts that are running through your head, even at age 6. I mean, I see it all the time with my son, and I'm sure you see it with your daughters too. The way they're
Oh,
thinking, especially in 2020. The way they're processing information, it's just a whole fucking different level of processing, to be honest.
well, when you say process, it just makes me think of all the content
Yes.
that is out there. When I say content on the internet, and you know, when you're talking about children and us both having kids and
Yes.
trying to process all this content
Mm-hmm.
that is out there, and then I think at the same rate trying to, if you will, shield them
Mm-hmm.
from a lot of this content that's out there. But anyway, didn't want to steal your thunder, brother.
No,
Go back.
man, you never steal my thunder, brother. We're
Yeah,
we're in this together, so it's all
yeah,
good.
man.
We're rock stars. So yeah, man. So anyway, long story short, I remember there was like some sort of elective that you can choose, and I saw that, you know, just be in a band. I'm like, okay. So beginner band or more experienced band member? So I was like, beginning, you know.
I don't
Hello.
know if I'm ready for experience.
Yeah. So, long story short, man, it was absolutely phenomenal. I ended up taking a band course, and yeah, the instrument that I felt really connected to was the trumpet. Who was that famous trumpet player? Louis Armstrong?
Louis Armstrong.
Louis Armstrong. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I know better than that. I give, you know, guys, you learn something about me. Me being so creative, I have a really bad habit of, even when I'm like covering a song, for example, I'll fucking change the words because it just is my natural instinct because that's just how I am, you know. The same melody, but I just switch it up, you know, if I'm vibing a different way. So like a lot of times I just change the fucking words by accident. My apologies. But yeah, guys, going back to the point, that was my first instrument, Devin. So yeah, and then followed by that, yeah, I just jumped into guitar. So anyway, I was listening to my favorite record the other day. Actually, a few months back. Let me take it a few steps back, and I said, you know what? There's this record. I Can't Go For That by Hall and Oates. All you old school heads out there that are listening right now, because I know we have a really wide range of demographic, which I'm really, in my opinion, I'm really proud of. You know,
no, that's awesome, man.
Who would understand it, and all the young bucks out there. You know, this is a pop icon. This group, as they're pop icons, and they've been in the game for a freaking long time. I'd say from early 60s, 70s, and up until this day, guys. So like, you know, they've been rocking for a very long time. So it was this record that they did. It's called I Can't Go For That. And I'm not gonna sing it right now because it's a little late over here, but you know, we're recording from our home, so like, you know.
Yeah, but where you can't sing it now, but where can they find you singing it?
That's true. So getting to that, I posted it on Instagram recently, and yeah, guys, you can check it out on Instagram. You know, my Instagram, we'll leave it down below. But for those who are auditory that want to listen to it in a moment, it's just the at the real Nelson. So basically, you're gonna type in the Nelson the real Nelson with 4 N's at the end, okay? And for the Instagram, and you're gonna see a post. It's actually the last post that I put on, and yeah, it's from this group called Hall & Oates, and absolutely phenomenal record. You know, one thing that Devin and I really love the most and appreciate is melody, and
absolutely, brother.
You know,
I don't get enough of it.
Yeah, when somebody's able to put together a solid chord progression that's just absolutely phenomenal, it just really hits every heartstring and soul string that exists in the body, man. It just rises the vibration of your energy, and that just really just does a lot, you know, for your day. It really does a lot for your life, you know. And yeah, that's why they say music is a therapy. So. Long story short, because we you know, we can, you know, we're ones to go into detail. This shit was crazy. I posted it the other day, and fuck, we tagged Hall & Oates in the post, and you know, we're not expecting anyone. I just posted it. You know, I was like, whatever, fuck it. This is a great fucking record. I flipped it on the guitar, and the man himself, the one who actually wrote the song, John Oates, he commented and liked the post on Instagram.
It's crazy. What did he say in the comments?
He responded in emojis, but that says a lot too. He was very symbolic about it. So he said, use the emoji 100%, you know, and then he put the guitar, boom, and then explanation point. So for me, symbolically, that meant 100%, you know, stellar performance on the guitar.
Yeah, that's dope, man.
And for somebody like that, you know, who's had many records, millions and millions of records sold, you know, to take the time out of his day, he didn't have to do that, you know, to show love like that.
Absolutely
to somebody like me. You know, that really made my week, man. You know, I wasn't expecting that. But at the same time, you know, that's what's beautiful about life, you know, in terms of how you identify with life. You know, it's
absolutely, bro.
Don't expect things, man. Just do it because it makes you happy. You know, when you do it because it makes you happy, then you're setting the course. You know, opposed to wanting to expect something. You know, no, you're creating your own way, and if somebody acknowledges you for that, then you're winning. So highlighted my week, man. I must say, man.
That's good, brother. Proud of you, man.
Thank you, brother. Besides doing this podcast, but that just felt fucking good, man. That felt really good to see that, and yeah.
It's almost like validation, even though
Yeah, yeah.
You know what you do, you love. It's not like you need any validation for someone to tell you how much you love creating and singing music. But when you get someone, obviously, like you said, of that caliber, and it's their song,
It's their
and
song.
right,
Yeah.
it's their song, and they're saying, I don't give a damn if it was one emoji. You'd be like, okay, 100% cool. Hey, they didn't have to do it because again, we live in this world of social media. There's just millions and millions of videos, man,
Yeah.
and even when you are tagging someone or hashtagging, a song name or artist, whatever, yeah, it's easily for you to go unnoticed in all of this, videos that are available. So yeah, so hats off, man. That's awesome, brother.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you, man. Now, listen, guys, I'm trying to get Devin to get on the record now.
It'll happen, brother. It's
It's
going to happen. Not even, it will happen. It's going to
pending.
happen.
Yeah.
It's pending. And again, going back to me doing this, it is, even though I'm not, I've sung a couple of times on here, but even then, when we always talk about pitch and all this other stuff, it's like, okay, man, I'm just becoming that much more comfortable.
Yeah.
Even when you put me on the spot, I think it was last episode, and you started singing something, I was like, oh,
sorry,
snap, man. I was like, I'm not, probably think this stuff is planned. It really isn't, when you put me on the spot. I'm like, oh, crap. I'm like, all right, man. And then I got to think of the lyrics. But at the same rate, what this has done, it has made me more comfortable in my skin.
Yeah.
Even though, as I've said before in prior episodes, I am very extroverted. But when it does come to singing, at some point in my life, man, I've never stopped singing. It has never stopped, but I did, if you will, kind of push it back behind closed doors to where, when I was singing in school and I was singing almost everywhere, I did kind of keep it to myself. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
like it's just kind of just more for me or me and you, when we would sing. So this opened the door. It's like, okay, all right, man, I didn't already let it out. So might as well go ahead and record that record, man. So, but yeah, it will definitely happen, brother.
I have to say, you've always been less shy than me.
It's interesting how that works between the both of us, because I've always told you, like, you getting on stage, I would be nervous. But it's just funny how we play off one another, because there's other times we're together and you're like, man, you kind of become introverted. And I'm like, nope, this is my time to be extroverted. But it's just funny our balance between one another, because when you do say, hey, bro, brother, I'm about to go on stage, I'm like, oh, snap.
I really love you, buddy.
I'm like, are you nervous? You're like, yeah, I'm a little nervous. But then you get out there and you start rocking. I'm just like, oh, crap. I'm like, okay, I thought you were going to be nervous.
Yeah, and let me tell you, and that has a lot to do with self-identity, especially in the beginning, because you really have no idea like what to expect in life sometimes, and
for sure, brother.
Especially when you are on a path of becoming self. Before you become your greater self, and after that you become a better version of that greater self. You start with phase one. That's self identity. Who am I?
For sure, brother.
So
couldn't say it any better, man.
Thank
I
you,
guess that leads me to a good question, brother.
Okay.
What does self identity mean to you?
Oof, man, that's a broad one.
Very broad, but yeah, you went there, beautiful. So I was like, okay, well, it's a good question.
Absolutely. Yeah, self-identity for me essentially means just really understanding yourself, understanding your purpose, being aware of those little things that make you you. And we live in a world where there's a lot of programming. That's all I'm going to say. And
that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
Right.
That.
And cut.
Yeah, and cut. Yeah. But we live in a world where that exists, unfortunately. So you really have to take the time to find that self point, that beginning point. And some people find it when they're really young. Some people find it in when they become the teenager. Everybody's journey is different. What's important is that you identify who you are. Who is this guy? Who is this woman? Who are you? What makes you yourself? And so that has a lot to do with, of course, and this is my opinion. I'm going to drop it back on you. You already know what's coming.
Yeah. No, my favorite words are we ping pong it.
Yeah. Amen. And
Right.
what makes it cool, interesting about this is it just comes back down to how was the upbringing, how was your fatherhood, father to sonhood, how was your relationship with your mother, how was your relationship with your friends, your peers, your cousins, family, your colleagues in school, schoolmates, whatever it is, it just doesn't matter really at the end of the day.
For sure, brother.
Whatever's influencing or contributing to that brain, to that soul, that those all of those chakras that make you who you are as an individual, really at the end of the day, it defines what self-identity is. When it's really defined and when you find it. So, my brother, hit me with it.
Yeah, no, I'm soaking in, as I always say, man. I'm soaking in everything you just said, brother. But yeah, when it comes to self-identity, I think, yeah, it definitely.
Stop right there.
Yeah,
What I
go
want
ahead.
to, I'm going to switch it up. That way, it doesn't feel like it's the same question.
No, for sure. Switch it up, man.
What do you feel, brother?
Yeah.
That self-identity. What have you gone through in your life that's allowed you to understand self-identity in terms of the definition of it?
Um.
I hope that was okay.
No. That's a
Yeah.
good one. Um. I was gonna say what comes to mind. Is being in a relationship, man, and
Being in a relationship.
mhm.
There's many relationships. So what do you mean?
Yeah. So I would say for me, in my longest relationship at some point, I think both of us started to lose our identity, and I was very young, when we started dating, and
Okay,
so yeah, so I was, and I say young, but yeah, I was younger, so I was 18,
that's young, brother. You're
but
still
that's young,
dating.
so yeah, so that's young, man, young man. So some people still say, hey, at our age, they're like, you guys are young. Okay, hey, I'll take it. Um, but young, but we still have old souls. But
Yep.
very old souls. But yeah, I would say that's when I truly realized that self identity was, if you will, real. And again, as you say, when you're younger, there's a lot of things you don't think about, man. But after
So true.
coming out of that relationship, man, I realized I didn't know who I was, man. And I had
That's
lost
trippy.
myself over the years, and there had been a huge gap in years, meaning of us being together in a huge in a gap of years where and again, pretty sure of her, she probably lost herself, but again, I can only speak for myself because this is my life's journey. But that's when I discovered it, man, where I'm like, okay, damn, like it's almost like, and I've told my mother this, we've talked about this, and not just about my relationship, but just self identity as a whole. It's almost like getting let out of jail. And I know that's probably not that I'm trying to sound negative, but it's just like some people feel like that when they get a relationship, but it's just like almost like getting.
Depends, right? It depends on the
Depends.
relationship.
It
Yeah,
depends.
of
You know what I mean?
course.
It's case by case. Again, as we say for both of us, this is just our perspective. This is just our own individual journey. But I'm not going to say I felt like I was getting out of jail, but it was just like
Yeah.
it was definitely a very lost feeling, I guess is really what I'm trying
Mm,
to come back to. And really taking those building blocks and saying, man, how do I build Devin again? But I'm no longer 18 anymore, so it's like that 18-year-old's gone. So it's like, how do I rebuild Devin today? And where do I start? Who can influence me? Obviously for me, I'm a person that's like, I have to influence myself first
right.
because no one's going to influence me, man. But I think coming back full circle to what you were saying, brother, that's when I really discovered self-identity. I think my true self-identity, and I've said this before on other episodes, is I've always known that I'm entertaining, if you will. And again, that's
Mm,
not a purpose of mine, if you will. I know we've talked about purpose, but when we're
right.
talking about identity, that's who when I look back on myself, I'm like, man, I've always been entertaining. I've always loved making people laugh. As obviously as I got older, I love singing, never changed. But again, when I got in that relationship and when we did finally separate, yeah, that was a huge moment in my life where I was like, man, okay, this self-identity stuff is real.
Yeah.
And I started to dig into it and really started to work on self-development on my own self and reading books, which I hadn't read books. Not once I hadn't read books. I hadn't read books on self-development. Let me say that more specifically. But yeah, that's really when I started to really discover it, man. So
That's crazy.
the importance of it, I guess, if you will.
Yeah, no, I mean, dude, at the end of the day, man, it's something that we have to sometimes reflect on. It's sometimes we're not able. We're living life, and it's so important to make sure that we are still in sync and still aligned with self at the end of the day when it comes to the journey, whether that be with the job that we're doing, whether that be, with the person that we're with, and also our group of friends that we're conversing with on a regular basis. This is something that we really need to be constantly monitoring, and whether or not it's toxic, or is it healthy, or is it helping me grow? We have to monitor self all the time, because this influences the self identity, who we are. This helps identify what's happening in the soul, and so but just out of curiosity, do you think discovering like self identity comes with age, or do you feel like it's something that it's a case by case basis? How do you view that?
I think it's a multitude, man. I think it can come with age. I think it can be a case by case. But I think it also just goes back to, as I say, man, I think wisdom can change your self identity.
Experience, right? Yeah, hell yeah.
Experience, wisdom, can change your self identity.
Not agree enough.
Again, I've said it before in here, but it's like if I'm not growing, I'm not learning, and I never want to be a finished product. So I feel as though my self identity will probably grow at my age. So because at some point, I don't know what could what activity, and I say activity, maybe something new that I start loving to do, at some point that's going to change my self-identity a little bit. It's not going to change me 100%, but it's like, okay, I get into, granted, I can't say it'll never happen, but I'm just going to say yoga. Okay. That's probably not going to be on the mat anytime soon, but not saying, who knows? Yeah. Maybe I will. Maybe that could be something I get into. I don't know. But at some rate that could change my self-identity to some degree, to where maybe I start thinking a little different, maybe obviously it's really focused on breathing, I start noticing, my breaths more, but
wow, that's powerful what you just said, but I'm going to let you finish, and then we're going to run that one back for a second.
Yeah, no, for sure. Hang on to it, brother. But yeah, I would definitely say it in my own opinion, brother. And obviously, like I just said, a couple minutes ago, some people look at us and say, hey man, you guys are young, you still got time to grow, which I'm all aboard for, man. I'm all about the growth, but I think my identity as a whole, I'll even just say this, my identity is starting to change and evolve with our podcast, because I'm finding my identity.
Cannot agree enough.
Podcasts. I'm finding my voice, even though I've always had a voice with people, in person, and making people laugh. Yeah. And I mean, heck, before we recorded this podcast, I was on the phone making my mother laugh in tears, because that's what I do, but that brings me.
Yeah, I do the same. You're
joy.
Yeah, I'm the same. I am with my mom.
Right. We're both the exact same. That made, I mean, even for us, when we're just giggling like little schoolgirls, we love laughing, but again, my getting back to the age portion of it, man, with the identity. Yeah. I don't want to be the same identity when I'm 40, when I'm 50, when I'm 60. I don't want to do a completely 180 of who Devin truly is, but it's like, that's part of my growth, man. That's part of my development. And the only one that's going to get me there is me.
Mm-hmm.
Because no one's going to, if I don't reach out my hand and go for things that are going to help me grow, no one's going to pull me closer if I'm not truly ready to do so.
Facts.
So, but anyway, but back to, I said about the breathing, and you said, man, I'm gonna come back to that. So,
yeah. So when you said breathing, I immediately thought like, going back to the Wim Hof method, right? And obviously this has been going on for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years, obviously. It stemmed from somewhere where he actually learned it and was able to magnify what it really means to do this in terms of self healing, in terms of self awareness, in terms of self like understanding. Period. Like he just broke it down, and in a simple science, you know, this is powerful, you know. And so going back down to the breath, the first thing that you need to recognize, and this is something that I've discovered along my 5 to 10 minute sessions of just breathing, you know. Becoming aware of your breath is such an important gift, and I'll tell you why. It helps you to understand everything around you in this present moment. Be aware of the moment. Breathe in, breathe out. Take a second, even if you're hearing something in the midst of that breath. You're hearing a fire alarm, or excuse me, a police alarm driving by, a car driving by, or you hear somebody beeping a horn, or you hear kids playing in the midst of this breath. It's becoming aware of everything that's existing in that present moment. And what that does for you is absolutely magic, because it gives you the ability in the moment to kind of pause time and say, fuck, that just happened. This is happening right now, right this second. And I just captured it. And these memories that we are developing every single day when we, use our eyes or our ears, because they both have the ability to capture memory and hold on to it, which is a very powerful thing, Every time I listen to you say something that's powerful to me, or if I listen to somebody like a Tony Robbins or Gary Vee, or, every podcast that we're listening to at the moment, or just people in general that are inspirational for us in terms of our growth, it's extremely powerful stuff, man. And when you make yourself, no, but this is the point, excuse me, I'm gonna take a step back. Before you get to that point, you have to make yourself aware of it. And it starts with taking that breath. Take a step back. Think about it. What's happening right now in the moment? A chair just moved, or somebody's pouring a drink of water, or just anything you can hear, the tick tock of the clock. Anything you could imagine or fathom in that present moment it has a meaning. It just means something. And
absolutely, brother.
And that's really, in my opinion, was one of the main pave waves of understanding how to self-identify, And so, anyway, man, I just wanted to shed light on that powerful point.
Good stuff, brother.
You said something really powerful there, and I had to show love there. Powerful stuff, man.
No. Great, man. Great feedback, brother. I guess another question to you, man, since we're obviously on this topic of self-identity.
Ping pong.
All right, ping pong, man. Here comes the ball, brother. It's coming back your way. I hope you got your paddle ready.
Always.
For your response. But I would say, man, just to kind of follow up with what we're talking about, what are some reasons you think someone could lose their self-identity? There's obviously a multitude.
You saw I was ready to jump. You saw.
All right, you ready, man? You ready?
I was ready to jump right in.
Yeah, no, jump in.
Devin, I'm very transparent, and I just say how it is. And
absolutely, bro. We both are.
So, yeah, exactly. And when you let somebody dictate what you're supposed to do every day, when you let too much influence come into your flowetry of life, that will influence your self-identity. When you have develop this problem with not wanting to be alone sometimes, and I noticed in my earlier years, friends around me, some friends around me, I'm not going to mention any names, of course, out of privacy and respect. A lot of these people just didn't like being alone. Didn't like to eat alone. I would ask them, "Hey, what did you do for dinner?" And like, "Yeah, I just invited a friend over. I was alone, and I just want to cook alone." I'm like, why? That's the best part.
Why?
No, and listen, and this is not, this. I love being around people. I love people.
Me too, man.
I love a party. I like to party. I like to get in and, just, you know me, Devin, when we go out, we like to go in,
Yeah,
and
man, we love. I mean, when we say go in, not getting crazy, we're not like doing like
no,
Coyote
no,
Ugly shit. We're dancing on
no,
top of the bars and stuff.
no, no.
We ain't doing that. But we like to. I know what you're getting at.
We
We
like to
like to
just
have
have a
fun. We like
great
to
time, man.
engage with everyone.
Yes,
Yeah, so,
absolutely.
absolutely, brother.
That's life, right? And yeah, so I noticed that this person said that to me, and I'm just like, but why don't you like to cook alone? That's how you learn. That's how you find what's happening there. How you can be better. How do you listen? If I can impress myself, then I can impress you.
Absolutely, brother.
So if I take the time to do a dish like, oh fuck, that was damn.
I'll do you one better. In my
Yeah,
mind,
hit me
going.
with it. I love it.
No, I'll do you one better. You do all your music by yourself.
Yes, most of it. 90 but
There's no one
9.9%.
in that. There's no one in that room
No.
that's helping you or influencing you. It's all your own mind. So it just made me, how you talking about cooking by
Mm.
yourself, it made me think about you're in your own thoughts, your own, if you will, almost your own bubble,
You know
when
why?
you're recording and producing and writing.
Correct. And you know why that is? I'll tell you why, Devin. Nobody's there to push me. Nobody's there to help me create this melody. No one's there to record this beautiful song and write the story that's in my heart and mind and soul, based on whatever I'm going through in that present timeline, for example. So there might be something that I'm experiencing that, maybe it's important that I'm alone to experience that, because I'm taking the opportunity to, again, self-identify, right? And find that solution to that problem that helps me make myself a better version of myself. And this does not disregard or discard any body being in a room with you, for example, to help bring that out, because some people are in need of that kind of guidance to, hey, listen, I'm going through something, but I just don't really know how to articulate this point. How do I bring this out, for example? You know what I mean? So sometimes we do need that kind of like that push, and
Yep.
I need it sometimes. I'm not perfect. You need it sometimes, I'm sure, Devin.
Absolutely, brother.
We need it. We push each other all the time. That's why we're doing so well right now, and that's what's just only gonna get better and better. But yeah, just going back to that, just losing yourself. It's very easy to lose yourself, because so it's you know that whole saying, words, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never harm me. That's some complete bullshit. It's exactly, honestly, the exact opposite.
Yeah.
If you were to tell me, Devin, if you were to tell me, go fuck yourself, Nelson, it will break my heart. Even though my exterior will hold on, I'm like, yeah, okay, well, fuck you too, brother. Whatever.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Deep down inside, I'm heartbroken. Because I don't want to hear that from you. You're my brother.
Absolutely, bro.
I adore you so much. I adore anybody that I care about with all my heart and soul. So the last thing I want to hear is something like that from them. Somebody that this opinion that I value. It's just like, what the fuck? What the hell are you talking about right now? It's so
Absolutely.
it's very easy to do that. Have you ever experienced something like that in your own journey, Devin? That's you can give a kind of shed a different example of that, or just, I'm curious.
Meaning on losing self-identity.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. The same question you asked me. Yeah, is there a
Man.
way?
No, I think again, and I already mentioned it, but it did tie into my longest relationship I've had, man. To date in my life. Yeah, man. I definitely it was it was a dark time, man. And I think part of the, for those that have felt like they've lost their self-identity at whatever point in their life, man, it definitely can be very depressing. And I'm here to say, yeah, after that, and I'll say that's my my children's mother, who I was in a long relationship with, but I think that was more of the identity piece, was really messing with you, because, and I say you, me, because like, okay, I still have to wear the dad hat, but then I also have to put on the identity that my children don't see
Yeah.
that their dad has lost himself. So very, very challenging, man. But obviously, as we say, man, we'll never stop saying it. You can get through it. And
Correct.
because I'll tell you what, at that time in my life, coming out of that, I was like, man, I really did. I lost myself. I mean, I can't say it enough, man. I lost myself, but I had to be mentally strong for my children. I had to progress forward. Very dark time in my life. Thank God, nothing like suicidal or anything.
Yeah. Thank God,
But
man.
but
Not gonna work.
but at the same rate, definitely very hard for me to wake up, each day and really try to figure out and piece together, man.
Yeah.
Who is Devin? It's almost like making like a Lego action figure, man, and you're starting from the feet, and you're trying to like build this person all over again, but at the same rate, how do you build it all over again when years have passed? You got to almost kind of start from scratch to a degree. But luckily, the interior of Devin was still, I love people. I love making people laugh. I love music. So that never
Yeah.
changed, so that those building blocks were always there. It was just more or less, okay, how do I navigate my journey in life from here?
Mm.
How do I go get what I've either
Powerful.
always wanted or what I want now? So that's where the identity piece came in, and it all started to form together. And it's still forming because I'm never satisfied, in a good way. I'm never satisfied, with making my identity better,
Yeah.
because that just comes from, but as they say, I think, I can't remember how you said it, brother. You are what you eat.
Yeah.
So I look at that as, you are who you are around.
Mm.
Okay. Who is influencing you,
Mm.
who is positively influencing you, who's negatively
Mm.
influencing you. Because as they say, millionaires hang out with millionaires.
Power.
It goes without saying. So how are these groups going to influence you? So that's how I look at it. For me and you, we're in the same bubble together. So it's like, I'm pushing you, you're pushing me. So
Correct.
versus I'm trying to, you know, bring your self identity
Mm.
down. I'm like, okay, no, nah, man, that song wasn't that good, man. Honestly, I'd hang it up, brother. Let's call it a day. Let's focus on something else. No, that's not how we are. It's all about, hey, bro, let's go get it. I told
Yeah.
you on a sticky note, no joke, and I told you this the other day when we were on a call earlier this week. I've got a sticky note in quotations that says, "Go get it."
Yeah, babe. Go get it.
And I'm literally looking at it right now in front of my face, even though no one can see it. The other thing I've written down is be an asset. The third one I've got written down, how bad do you want success? Again,
Mm.
this is just for me, you know, and this is what I look at when I sit down at my desk every day and I get my day going. When I'm on this podcast, these are things that I'm channeling into my own mind.
Even that sign behind you, you can never have too much happy.
Right. You can never have too much happiness. So these are basically words of affirmation that I have all
Affirmations.
around me,
Mm. Hit
you
it.
know, and
Affirmations.
so really going back to what you asked me, bro, about losing my identity. These are essentially, these are my building blocks, bro.
They remind you, right?
They remind me these words, these words that are in front of me. Um, go get it, be an asset. How bad do you want success? I mean, obviously the list goes on and on, but it depends on your own identity. What do you want to go after in your life? What do you want for your life? For me, I want growth, man. I want
Yes.
development. It's not all about monetary for me. Yes, hey, money can buy a lot, okay? But at the same rate, some of the richest people, and I've said this before, are unhappy, man, or they're suicidal, whatever that looks like. Okay. I don't have any millionaire friends yet. But at the same rate, again, it really just goes back to the identity piece, man. So I think, what helped me and at a point where I felt like I lost my identity or self identity was the words of affirmation, was the self development books, was the audio books, along with, I can't say it enough, my in group,
Yeah.
because you guys are, and I say you guys, I've already said who those people are so monumental in my identity, man, and keeping me whole and letting me know, hey, Devin, man, you're good, man. You might have made this left turn, brother. Hey, get your butt back on the road. You good.
That's
Keep being
exactly
you
right.
and keep your my brother always says, keep your foot on the pedal, man, and go get it. So hence why I got between you and my brother, the words written down, go get it. So
That's powerful, man. I got one for you.
Yeah, brother.
And who has, I know we were discussing it earlier,
Yeah,
but
brother.
now that that's completely, because I think you've answered it in so many different ways, that question. So now I'm gonna reverse the question a little bit,
Yeah,
or
reverse.
rearrange it, but would be better. Yeah,
Reverse.
yeah. um, who has, opposed to how have, um, who has influenced you to help identify your self identity? Like who's influenced that for you on a
um.
positive, on a positive and a negative? Let's talk.
Oh wow. Okay.
Whatever way you want to start.
Yeah, man. My mind is going. And I know I've said it before, man. But yeah, I mean, on a positive, um, I can't say enough, man. My brother, man. So and he just does, man. He keeps me. He keeps me. And it's not that I don't keep myself, but he just keeps he helps me. And I guess the word is coming to me, man. Is pivot. He helps me to
Mm-hmm.
quickly pivot in areas of my life. He's like, you don't need to stay in this mindset too long, and it's not a matter of he's not wanting to let me have my own journey, because he does, you know what I mean? Because he's all about, hey, you're going to live your life, but at the same rate, have you thought about it this way? So that's where those pivots come in. Have you thought about it this way? I'm like, okay, damn, no, I haven't. But he has been, yeah, man, he's been a huge positive influence on my self-identity. And again, it's not that I don't know who I am. I mean, clearly, I'm very confident and I love who I am, but at the same rate, there's always room for growth. So when we're talking positive, yeah, it's absolutely my brother, man. And for him, man, as I tell him all the time, I love him to death. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know where I'd be without my brother, man. Yeah, we've been. I mean, like most siblings and family. I mean, we've been through everything together, man. But yeah, to this day, if I pick up my phone, I call him, or he reaches out to me first. It's all I leave away with gold nuggets, and I call it gold nuggets of information, to where it lets me reflect, and I like doing that. I'm a reflector. I like to reflect. And it's not about negative. It's like, okay, we talked about this, whatever that may have been, and I just do. I sit back, whether I'm driving somewhere or I just have time and sit in the bed or wherever. I'm in the shower. Honestly, for me, that's honestly where my best thoughts come. And I know they say a lot of people, your brain really gets to going when you're in the shower. I'm definitely a shower thinker, 100%. Also a shower singer, because I love singing in the shower. So it happens both ways. So it's like I'll start
Yeah.
off singing and then I'll start thinking. So, or sometimes I'll think and then I sing. So
I love you, man.
it always happens that way, man. But
Yeah.
yeah, again, answering what you said, brother. For sure, my brother. Obviously, and again, brother, because we do. I always say this, man. Sometimes when you have a friend or a close family member, man, they shouldn't always tell you what you want to hear.
Yes, man.
And that's just my perspective, okay? Because that's not helping with my growth. Like, hey, Devin, man, you might need to be doing this. Say, okay, and again, it's not a matter of telling me what to do or telling someone what to do, but it's just like giving you a perspective, man, and allowing me to grow. Like, hey, no, I don't agree with that, brother, and not being afraid to say that. I think that's where the closeness of a friendship and having a sibling or a mentor, whoever that is, to tell you, hey, you might need to look at it this way, man. Have you thought about, hey, when we're speaking self-identity, maybe you're doing this to a lot of people, man, or you say this and someone reacts this way. Okay, you know what? Maybe definitely there's some cadence to what you're saying, because I am getting similar feedback when I do this to a person or I do that. So again, it goes back to that growth, that self-identity, man.
That's
But
powerful.
getting to, you asked me negative. I can't really say anyone affected me negatively with my identity, because I think what I will say is different things that in life that I've been through have impacted. I can't really
Mm-hmm.
pinpoint one, but again, those have helped me again build these building blocks of Devin. It's like, okay, man, this happened to me. Okay, I have to, again, as I used the word my brother, pivot. I have to pivot my self identity a little bit here. I have
Yeah.
to pivot here. So I can't really say anything specifically negative, but series of events, in my life. But I think also, again, you begin to, you build this armor, man. You begin to build this armor to where it's just like, you almost kind of, it's almost kind of like bullets, like a superhero. It just kind of bounces off you, to where it's just like, okay, like I've been through that. Like that's not gonna change my self identity. I had to deal with coming out of whatever situation, and if there was a rebuilding phase, and now you grow from that, because the thing about, for me, is like, I don't want to go back and do the same shit if it was negative that I've already done. Like I've already done it. Like I know what that outcome looks like, or potential outcome looks like. So it's like, I'm focused on growth. So what is growth? Growth is positivity, man. Some positive form of getting to a goal, and knowing how to navigate around cones, man, because those cones are life's obstacles.
Yeah.
Okay. How do I drive? How do I navigate, Devin, around those? So again, you get smarter, you get better, you should, to where you're getting to your end goals. Because for me, it's not one goal, it's goals. So
absolutely.
But yeah,
Powerful.
brother, definitely.
Yeah,
man, definitely good question. I love it, brother. And again, I think for me, this brings me to you, brother. Is there, and I say, do you think a relationship or friendship could cause someone to lose their self-identity? Obviously, I mentioned mine, but again, you have your own perspective. So I'm just curious, man.
Yeah, for sure.
And again, that's where I say relationship or friendship, because it could be either one.
I'm going to keep that kind of anonymous in terms of who exactly, what type, but I would say,
for sure,
just for general sake, both have the ability to do that. Yeah, it's I'll take a relationship experience that I've experienced. I'm not going to say which one at this point, out of respect and, for the person. But there was a situation that I did experience where, I dropped everything for them. Even, was even willing to go across the entire planet for them, literally move across the world. And as well as, just completely change the identity for a moment, and so sometimes, I mean, but even still, when you do, there's instances with that, when you do that, and you can still keep your identity. So you know what I mean? So you don't have to change yourself, even if that means you go beyond, the beyond, and just go to a different part of the world. But I've experienced things where, it just wasn't, I found myself watching what I'm saying. Yeah, and let's go to the relationship side for a minute. Just kind of counting my footsteps. Or is that last footstep too much? Did I say that a little bit too harsh? Am I too aggressive? Even though I'm from New York and everybody knows that New Yorkers we just talk different. Yeah.
For sure.
It comes across weird, but it's the fuck out of here. You're gonna be all right,
You're gonna be all right.
Yeah, or a Baltimorean, for example. It's
man. You got it. Yeah, I mean, obviously, that goes across. I mean, like you're saying, man, even just cities all around the world, man. You be
correct.
You have this thick skin. So, or you kind of have to grow into
having thick skin.
I
have to. So imagine taking that to a different country where the customs and the culture are a little bit more passive opposed to aggressive. It's passive aggressive, right? In this case, it's understood in certain parts of the world as aggressive passive, motherfucker. So if you're gonna, so you listen, I'm gonna be aggressive with you until you become passive with me, and then I become passive. You stupid ass. Some craziness like that. You never know wherever you are in the world. It just really kind of identifies that somehow. And so anyway, long story short, I did experience things that were just like, having to watch myself, just be conscious of how I'm talking. Am I being too aggressive? And am I being too forceful? Is that coming across as controlling? And it's you just gotta watch yourself. So, for me, it's just.
Do you think that's helped with your growth for self-identity?
Absolutely. This is why I'm saying it. is absolutely helped with my growth, you know, because I became aware of it when somebody, hey, dude, this is what I'm seeing when you do it to
A
me. Or
reoccurrence.
yeah, I'm like, shit, I never thought about me like that, because I'm not looking at myself walk every day. I'm not looking at how I can, better my posture when I sit in the chair, or I'm not looking at how I'm speaking every day. So yeah, just going back to the whole concept of, having a podcast, or seeing myself on a video saying, or seeing myself in an interview, converse with another human being, in terms of whatever is going on in my life, or just have a conversation. Something as simple as a conversation. You'd be surprised what that does to the person. So yeah, you can lose it. It's very easy to lose yourself if you've never found yourself.
And this made me think of something, man. We've obviously talked about your musical journey and tons of great things you've shared, man. I mean, tons of gold nuggets, as I call them again, that you dropped on this podcast. And again, I know you'll continue to shed light on things. But at any point in your career, did you ever felt like you lost your self identity? Was there anyone, or was there any person that you came across like, hey, man, like,
yeah,
but I'm glad I navigated away from this, person or group, because I almost lost myself.
When we've been saying this from the beginning, when you're in a state of vulnerability, beginning phases, which is the most common phase for this to be possible. When you're understanding it, you have people that do have experience that go diving into those waters of people that are not lacking, or that are lacking that experience, and they take them. I'm like, hey, I recommend you do this. I recommend you do that. And if I was you, I would do this. You have people like that whispering in the ear of the people, and unfortunately, this could be a great thing and a bad thing. Fortunately, it could be a good thing. Unfortunately, it could be a bad thing. And so I've had both, honestly. I've had people that, on a good note, where, listen, man, I see your vulnerability, and I just want to see you fucking win, man. Shit, dude, you're amazing. Your soul is stellar. Like you're meant to just touch the world. This is what I recommend you doing, man. And they just drop a gem on me, and just I never see them again. And I'm like, God, that was epic. Shit, dude, I needed that. And then you have people that are take advantage of that vulnerability. That see that you're young and are trying to understand certain aspects of your life, whether it be in I'll just say, for me, for example, on a creative level, or somebody that's taken on a corporate role in their life that they've never had the opportunity to journey on, and so they see that you're a rookie, they take advantage of that. So you really have to be mindful that sometimes people's intentions are not the most pure. So it's very easy to be manipulated and take a direction that's not really yourself, in return for a gain, of some sort. Like, you just have to be really aware of that. And I've seen it time and time again, man, both negative and positive, unfortunately. So yeah.
For sure, man. No, for sure. And actually, my mind is going, man. When we're speaking about, obviously, us, we're visionaries. So we're always talking about our future, and whether it's individually, together. Is there anything that you want to work on to kind of keep keep growing your self identity? I almost said keep it intact, but I know we're the same. We're both always wanting to grow. Mm-hmm. Is there anything that stands out, like, man, I really want to make sure I continue to do this, to really just keep that self identity intact, man? So
self-diddy. No.
There right, self-diddy. Diddy bop. Take that.
Stupid, bro. Nah, definitely, man. For sure, brother. Honestly, man, I'll be honest with you. It's man, how can we get there? It's brother, like, for me, it's sometimes hard to answer that, because it's It depends how you want to answer that. So for me, I need you to say the question again, so I make sure. Just say the short version of it, because I need to make sure I'm really there's specific things I want to answer there. So you need to
Yeah,
say it one more
no,
time.
for sure, brother. And this time I won't say Diddy Bop. So
Yeah.
but no, essentially all I was asking, man, I guess more or less is there a thing or things you want to do to help
Mm-hmm.
with the growth of your self
Right.
identity?
Right.
So
Okay. I
it's
got
really
it.
what I'm asking. So
Yeah. So basically, going back to the original way you said it,
right.
there's always a way to self grow and become self aware and um again, I think we've said it prior. You are what you eat. You are what you listen to. You are what you hear. You are what you breathe. Honestly, in every aspect of that phrase, it's you have to make sure you are surrounding yourself by powerful, influential people. Doesn't necessarily mean that specifically. It could just be somebody that's closest to you right now that doesn't have all the things in the world that this next person does, but they have all these things in the world mentally and spiritually and physically, and they're healthy and they're just such. What my favorite people to my most favorite people to be around, brother? People that don't have shit but are so fucking powerful at the same time. Oh
Yeah,
my
man.
god,
Man, I tripped up on my words. Yeah, continue, man.
I love them because they have nothing less than us, and they talk like they got all the money in the world. They talk like they have all the success in the world.
Do you know why? And I won't say do you know why, but what comes to my mind, man, you're rich inside.
Facts. Oof.
You're rich inside, brother. Has
Knock my
nothing
jaw
to.
left for a minute.
Yeah,
What?
you're rich inside, man. You're whole
Yeah.
inside. And again, getting back to that, that shield of armor, man. There's nothing someone could tell you and be like, oh man, you don't have this much money, you don't have that. It's just like, you know what? I don't, but I got my wealth and it's happiness.
Godly.
Okay. So that's what
Yeah,
I do have. And that's what I'm gonna strive to keep. So that's where
and
you
that's
see,
and
like you
that's what
said, someone not
nobody
having nothing. So
and that's what nobody could take from me.
I can't go bankrupt with happiness.
No, you'll
I
never take
can,
mine.
it can go away, but I don't need
You can no
I
no
don't need a
excuse me.
credit score for happiness.
Yeah, you don't need. Yeah,
It's all internal, man.
absolutely. I don't need anything on paper to identify my happiness. I'm happy, and I say it every day. It's funny, brother. This morning I said, you know, even during his darkest times, and I say darkest times because we got this pandemic, man. It's really let's be fucking honest. It's really affected the world
For sure, man.
on a high level of craziness.
And it
You know,
still is.
and it still is. It's affecting people and attacking people that are closest to us, and
Absolutely, brother.
that we adore, and but we have to stay positive, always. And so, um, yeah, man. I got one for you.
For
Just
sure, brother.
because a lot of things come to my mind in terms of like, um, in terms of how we view our future. You know,
Yeah.
um, and because a lot of people ask, how important is self identity and things like that. And but for me, is it at the end of the day, like, what is your plan in terms of Devin, for example? Devin, what is your plan right now in the next 5 years, next 10 years to influence the masses? What's your plan? Because listen, we're talking normal right now, but eventually this podcast, and I'm saying it right now, I'm putting a date on it, I'm clocking it. It's 10:08 p.m. Central European time. What time is it in the States?
408. I had to think about it. I almost said I think I had to look.
It's fine. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's 4:08, so p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time, my brother.
Okay. We're talking right now. We're stamping it right now as we speak. Okay. What is it you're gonna do in the next 5 to 10 years? Because we're talking right now. Right now, we're just talking normal. But eventually,
sure.
this is gonna influence millions of people. And it's funny when people come back to this episode, they're gonna realize, holy shit, these motherfuckers they stamped it. So we're stamping it right now. Season 1, episode 12, the last episode of season 1, as we're entering into the next chapter of our journey, brother. What is your goal to influence the masses in the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, man. Joy, man, is really what comes to my mind, brother. And I've said it already on this podcast, man. I love bringing joy to people's life, man, as well as, do I like having joy brought to mind? Yes. But I think the joy and my internal happiness comes from making people smile, man, and feel joy in touching people that are afraid to speak up about what's going on. And if you will, us being a voice for the voiceless. Okay. That they're still finding their voice. So they don't know how to speak up. Because yeah, man, everyone has been through some shit. Everyone's going through some shit right now. This pandemic, man, we're still in play. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're all still going through this. I mean, hell, it's wintertime now, and again, I talked about this before with the possible rise of depression cases. It's getting darker now.
It's happening now, right?
Right. It's getting darker. But
I'll be honest with you. I'll be transparent. Just keep your thought, please. I just need to say this,
brother.
And literally in response to that, I'm literally sometimes, and I'm one of the most positive people you ever meet. I'm the first person to influence somebody. Yeah, I'm feeling good. Like I find happiness in the little things, but for some reason,
for sure,
sometimes, there's this wave of like that comes in. It literally feels like that comes in, and you're just like, where the fuck did that come from right now? I call them waves of sadness. Why the fuck are you here?
And I'll even say, man,
hit me with it. Sure.
We talked through that, and not to cut you off, brother, but
no, never.
But
never,
I think, and and obviously the last episode we talked about power of friendship, but
yes,
and you're not afraid. And again, that's where our bond, man, you're not afraid to, and it's not like you're, calling me or I'm calling you specifically for that. Cause I have no clue, but you'll say, hey bro, like, is this normal? Like, or, hey, I just want to talk about this, and really talking through that. Like, hey, bro, you're good, man. And again, not that either one of us are ever off course, but I think just expressing your feelings, man, especially as two men, I think even, we've talked about that before, and it's not just men, obviously it could be a man or a woman, but just really letting your feelings out, whatever's on your mind. So thank you for sharing that, brother, because it's true. We all could have that, man. It's just this wave of sadness, or just maybe it's a wave of just feeling negative inside.
Sometimes it's intrusive thoughts. Sometimes we talked about this, having intrusive thoughts.
We did, brother.
Like, okay, I'm not gonna say, I'm just gonna say just, not just a random example. Like, it could be, for example, you're going through something in life and you're a great person. I'm not saying this is what I'm thinking, but like, it may happen to me. It may have happened to me that I'm not, I forgot about, but I'm just speaking in general, but like, you could just be sitting there one day and just have a random intrusive thought because of a pandemic that's been, it's been inspired by something that's negative, and it's making you think crazy things, or, stupid shit, so you have to be really conscious of the intrusive thoughts. You have to be conscious of your present moment. And what's most important that you need to remember is that you are in control of your thoughts. You have to control. Thoughts will come and go. We'll never control that.
Absolutely, bro.
They're like, the thoughts, listen to me, and I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Thoughts are like a fucking river. They just flow. Okay? It's up to you.
I tell my not to cut you off, brother,
No,
but
you're
my
fine.
mind got to going, and I tell both my daughters, but I've always told my oldest daughter, I said, baby, everybody's always thinking of something, and I'm very visual. And I said, you know, I do
You,
this to my
brother.
daughter. We'll be in a grocery store, wherever. I said, I want you to just take a look at everyone right now. This is how I am with my kids. I said, every last one of these people are thinking about something.
Yes.
You don't know what they're thinking, baby. And essentially what I'm doing for my daughter is letting her know, baby, I want you to express yourself. I want you to feel free to express yourself. Um, Obviously, as your father, as a man in your life. But yeah, it just got me thinking, man. You know, that's how I am with my own kids. I'm very visual. You know, so I'm like, just look, everybody's thinking something, baby. Like, you don't know what they're thinking. You know, someone could be sad, someone could be happy. You don't know. You know, you just really, just think about it. Next time any of you guys listen to this, you go to the next, it doesn't matter. Obviously, we can't see one another's faces right now with this mask stuff going on, but just think about that. You're out and about. Everybody's thinking of something. You know, what that is, who knows? So, but anyway, continue, brother.
Brother, oh man, you have no idea what that did for me right now. Like, it's magic. And I say that because, I it's funny, yesterday, man, I had a conversation with my son. It's like, son, this is how it works, right? This is just these little scenarios where you're able to witness influence and how a person and is really developing their identity. And it's so cool to be a part of that creation process for them, in a sense, because you're contributing to that as a parent, for example, or as a sibling, or as a brother, or as a sister, or whatever, or just as a mentor, right? It's just really important to be able to have that angle of influence, right? I was having a conversation with my son yesterday, and it's hilarious, guys. But I want to share it because it was really a positive. It was a positive outcome, I would say, in my opinion, because I did catch it in advance. He is only 6 years old now, and obviously, guys, he has a long way to go. He's a beautiful human being. He's still developing, and magical human. He influences me every single day. But we reached a point in our relationship where I noticed a little bit of lying happening. And I was like, whoa.
Whoa.
Holy shit.
You're going to lie to me right now, son? I see the toy in your hand. What do you mean you didn't take it? It's in your hand, little man.
Yeah, listen. And it's facts. I can't say that any better. I'm going to share the story because it is a positive thing. There was a positive outcome. He did see that he was at fault, and I didn't force it on him. And that was the beautiful part of it. He saw, I was like, Daddy, that was a bit wrong. I shouldn't have lied, right? I'm sorry, Dad. 6 years old. This kid's 6 years old saying, I'm sorry for lying about that. And I didn't ask him to apologize. He just said that on his own. And that's what blew my mind, and that says a lot about the development of the kids and these next generations. They're going to be way more advanced. It's just always going to be like this. So he was like, oh, we have a routine, like, hey, son, brush your teeth. I need you to use the restroom if you can. Wash your hands. And then brush your teeth, and then we're going to go to bed, okay? You have to go to bed. We just have a routine, okay? So a lot of times he doesn't like that so much. Doing all of those steps, I'm pretty sure right? What's happening?
Oh, I know all about it.
Yeah. So long story short,
I have my own way of being structured. So yeah. So sometimes when you lay the structure down, they're like, okay, no, I'm going to be defiant. I'm not doing the third step.
Correct.
I'm going to just bypass all of that.
Correct.
So, okay.
Correct. So he was like, okay, Dad, I brush my teeth. So, smell my breath. He always asks me, smell my breath, So, All right, man. I'll smell your breath if you want me to. I believe you, baby. It's all good. At you. But it's cute though, because you smell a little baby breath. You know, for me,
I do that with my youngest. I say, let me smell your hands, and the little tiny hands go up. As I will make sure you wash your hands. Let me smell. It's like, I promise, I did it. I said, let me smell your hands. Let me see. All right, smells like lavender. All right, get out of here. You're good.
Yeah, you're good. You cleared. You know, our kids our youngest are the same age actually.
They are, man. They're both 6.
Yeah, they're both 6. So yeah, they I did the same thing with Ben. His name is Ben. He has a huge name, so Ben, nobody's gonna be able to find him with that name. So many Bens in this world. So yeah, Ben was like, "Yo, Dad, I brush my teeth. Smell my breath." I'm like, "Okay, cool. You good, man? Don't worry about it. You don't have to do that." I wash my hands. You know. All right, cool. Sometimes he doesn't. You know. When you're 6 years old, when you reach the point of potty training, everything, there's still that 6-year-old, 4 to 6-year-old gap where you gotta be careful, you know, because you don't want to pee in the bed, you know, type shit like that. You know, I'm being transparent, guys. I don't give a fuck right now. This is just facts. This is what life is about. You know what I mean? Yeah, we've all been there. We've all done that. This is who we've always been, right? Sure. At some point of our life, and so. It's a mandatory thing. Before he hits that bed, he has to use the restroom. Okay? Got to use the restroom. If you don't and nothing comes out, then perfect. At least you tried. You know, even if a little sparkle comes out, that's also perfect. You know, I don't care what happens. You know, let me know when you're done and blah, blah, blah. And he lied to me about peeing. He didn't get on the toilet and try. He didn't try to pee. He didn't try once. Okay? And I know, and guys, I'm not like a hard ass dad that just forces the kid. You have to pee. You know, nothing like this. Nothing crazy like this. I've had an experience with my son where, you know, unfortunately, you know, I forgot that step one time, and it resulted in him peeing in the fucking bed. So, it was torture for me because I had to clean it. You know, and he fucked up and it's like, Dad, I just did something happened in the bed, Dad, and shit, I made a mistake, and he didn't want to talk to me about it because, which is fine, it's completely fine. Oh, yeah. And I had to keep my laughing, of course, at the time, but you know, I cleaned it, whatever. I said, son, this is why I tell you have to use the restroom before you go to bed. Okay.
The worst is when I won't say the worst, but
I even do it to this day. I even do it because not that I'm gonna pee in my fucking bed, but you know, you have to stay in control. You know, and
for sure. What makes me laugh? I think you and I were joking about it one time. When it's like 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
And the kid is looking at you, and you're doing one of these. You can barely see. It's like, what happened? You know, and they're standing there with no clothes on, talking about, I don't know. I'm like, you did it. What do you mean you don't know? Wait, what? It's 2, 3 in the morning right now. I'm tired. Like, okay, well, now we got to put you in the bath.
You're stupid. Oh my God. What?
Right. You know? You stand there, you blind, you got the lights on, it's like 2, 3 in the morning. You're like, okay, I don't know what happened. Like, did you do it? I don't know. It's like, okay, well, okay, the bathroom is, you know, however far away. Like, I don't know what happened, but all right, let's get you cleaned up. Let's get on some new pajamas.
Yeah, like, you mean in terms of when they make a mistake?
Yeah, when they make a mistake, man. Yeah, when they have the pee in the bed moment. But it just made me laugh because I've got a lot of them with my kids. I'm just like, oh my goodness. Okay, well, I guess we have to get you in the bath. You know, 3 in the morning, you're trying to wipe them down. It's like, my goodness. Okay, let's get you in your mermaid pajamas because the other ones are soaked. So.
Yeah, that's real though.
Because we're gonna switch you out like a character on stage. We'll switch your outfit out.
No, so right. You know, he lied. I was sad about that because it's one thing to joke about some shit like that. Like, oh, dude, you peed on yourself, man. What the hell happened here? Oh, come on, man. You fucking up. You know, I would never say that to my kid, obviously. You know, I'm there to influence and inspire. So I'll be like, son, you know, it's okay, baby. You made a mistake. You know, did you learn from it? You saw what happened, right? What we could have done to be better in that situation, and what we could do better next time, right? You know, so that's always my motive. But what I was having a problem with was I'm asking him, "Hey, son, did you use the restroom?" And he's like, "Yes, daddy." And I'm looking at him because I know him so well. Son, why are you looking like that? And so he does this face. It's a famous face that he does. It reminds me of me when I was his age. It's crazy as fuck. That's why I knew what it was.
Yep.
This is why they look like us, because you see little similarities in terms of the expressions, and
absolutely,
they're meant to look like us for a reason,
That's
and
what makes it funnier. Because you're like, okay, how do
funnier,
I
cuter, all that
discipline,
shit.
if you will, this face that looks like me?
So
It's hilarious.
I was calm the whole time. Like, well, okay, for me, guys, just so you know, I don't ever yell at my son. I never yell at him. I talk with him, and I talk to him direct. You know what I mean? If there's a point, I bet you there's a. Listen, I was yelled at. I was smacked in the mouth. I was, I got my ass whooped. All this shit, as a kid. Listen, we've all been there, done that. All you old school heads, we got our ass whoops at the end of the day. Let's be honest. Smack with a remote, whatever you could think of, whatever was in the premises of the parent when we made a mistake. Yeah, let's be honest, right? Whatever. Anyway, I chose to make a decision where, you know what? Look, there's many ways to solve one problem. Facts. I don't care what anybody says. There's a million ways to solve one fucking problem. And I learned that really, really quickly. And I told him, son, listen, you gotta do me a favor. You're not sounding 100% like honest with me, buddy. All right? What's going on? So I said, did you use the restroom or no? And he's like, he did this thing that I never see. He's like, yes. So that told me that he's holding a laugh in that bitch. I'm like, okay, that's new. But he held his poker face really well.
Mm.
I was all right. You sure? And then I stopped and I paused. And I'm looking at him. Okay. And then I noticed something happening to his face. He was like, doing that. He's transforming. He's trying to get, that face. You've done it. I've done it. Everybody in their motherfucking mama done it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
oh yeah.
Why are you doing that? What's so funny? I didn't say a joke, Papa. Nothing, Daddy. I was just thinking how excited I am for tomorrow. You had no real valid excuse.
Right.
I'm like, son, you have one more time to tell me. Okay. So the reason why I'm sharing this is not put my son on blast. He's the most beautiful human being and the most loving. Like, has so much compassion for people. So much. He the empathy that comes from this little human, man, is absolutely phenomenal. He inspires me every day, and I help create him. Thanks to his mother. Really, really an influential human being, I would have to say. So for me personally, but it's just funny because this is what happens every day, even from the ground up. Meaning when you're starting out in this life journey. Long story short, he was not able to tell me the truth. And he finally, after a few attempts, submitted to the fact that I was not going to stop. I was not going to give up. And I was going to find unique ways to ask him questions that would eventually, comfortably from his side, not feel like he did something wrong, or he would tell me the truth. Because that's all he was afraid of.
Oh, yeah.
And I've never hit him. I've never hit my kid in my life. Ever. I've never laid a hand on my son. But I whoop his ass with words. I swear to you. No, I mean that, like, with a look. Hey, what's going on? What are we doing right now? And hey, let's get focused, baby boy. You're a beautiful human being. We got goals to hit. Let's be successful. So that type of positivity, type of vibe, with him. But like, long story short, it was a funny story because he made me laugh. with that crap, man, because like I couldn't believe he was attempting to lie to me, and I caught him, and his reasoning
You got to try once or more than once. Meaning
his
with a lie.
yeah, his excuse was
With them.
hilarious. He was like, "Dad, okay, I'm not lying to you, but I was just joking about not peeing." I said, "Oh, you were just joking about not peeing? Wow, that's clever." Which is really clever because like it's like, Daddy, I'm not lying to you. I'm just joking about not peeing. So he, in his mind, he didn't understand. Of course, he's 6 years old. The difference is there. So you have to remember, like, it's a new time, man. And
Sure, brother.
the fact that happened was very very educational for me, man. And going back to the question of self identification, you know, you were it was that was the first time I felt like he was identifying himself, and also it helped me identify myself as well, because I'm just like, damn, like no matter what I do, no matter what I say, whatever, it doesn't matter what it is. We have no choice but to grow and find new ways, to find home, I guess, so it's crazy.
For sure, brother. No, thank you for sharing your story about little man. So
Cracks me up.
Fun stuff, man. So, but again, brother, this is the closeout to episode 12, man. Again, super excited for those that have listened up until this point. I usually lead with the quote of the day, meaning towards the end. So the one that I have is from Jackie Robinson. So most people know who that is. So famous black baseball player, man, pretty historical guy.
Of course, I know Jackie Robinson.
Exactly. As I say, I don't know too many people who don't. If you don't, hey, you can give you a reason to look him up. Which, hey, we got Google. But the quote comes from Jackie Robinson. Like I said, this says, "A life is not important except in the impact it has on other lives." So again, I'll read it again. A life is not important except in the impact it has on other lives. So what's kind of your wrap up? What's kind of your thoughts on that, Noah?
Yeah, I mean, just breaking that down, life is not important except in the impact it has on other lives. Yeah, basically what that says to me is like, what your legacy stands for. Like what kind of legacy you trying to leave, like
I think it ties in almost a question you asked me earlier. You said, in the next 5, 10, 15 years, what's essentially is what you were asking me. What's the legacy, that I want to leave, through our podcast, with the world. And I said joy, man. And I guess for me, that really ties into that, man. Because I always want to have some form of warmth with someone, man. And bringing that warmth, that joy. And it doesn't always have to be through, laughing, even though laughter is absolutely good for the soul. I've said that my entire life, and I'll never stop saying it, as well as music and a plethora of other things, man. But truly for me, man, when I read that quote, it is, man, just bringing the joy, man. And I mentioned the grocery store scenario I did with my own child, my oldest daughter, and just really open her eyes, like, hey, everybody's stinking, baby. Everybody is going through something. So with that, if I can, again, impact someone's life, other lives, by bringing that joy, man, by sitting down, again, that's why we're doing this podcast, man. We're wrapping up episode 12, but yeah, we're here to have people impact our lives, because that's the beauty of when we do finally start to get these comments funneled in and get these guests on here, man. It's a two-way street. To getting that, that, and I use the word joy, but I mean, there's a multitude of words, man. But again, I just wanted to tie in just kind of my piece. I didn't mean to cut you off, but my mind was going, brother. So
we're vibing, man. That's what I love about our vibe, man. Like we I never feel like when we talk, we just talk, man. That's what I love about you, brother, man. That's why we've known each other and been friends for so long. It's just fucking the way it is. And so
Absolutely, brother.
it's for me. Like, forgive my sailorness today. I've been cursing like
Yeah,
a sailor too.
yeah. I don't. I have to go back and count on my hands. Like 1, 2, 3.
Shit, I lost count of the fucking.
No, it's all good, brother. I think there you go. Boom. There's another one. I don't have enough fingers, man, to count. But again, man.
Yeah, man.
Wrapping this up, brother. I know I said it before, man. Love you, brother. Excited to go into season 2 with you. Excited to continue our journey. Like we both said, I mean, we have a lot ahead of us. Personally, professionally, with our self-development, we're talking self-identity, everything, man. So again, brother, super happy to get to 12. Yeah, man. Love you, brother.
Love you too, man. Guys, listen, again, if this is your first time tuning into our podcast, just go ahead and tune into our podcast via, all major streaming platforms, as well as YouTube. Guys, listen, we're rocking and rolling. We're getting ready to enter into the journey of season 2, episode number 13. And it's just been an absolute fucking ride with you, buddy. And I'm proud of us.
Same here,
we have a lot of, celebratory things to be happy about and celebrate for. And guys, listen, as we close out this first season, we just want to say one thing. Life doesn't come easy. Life doesn't come without consequence. Life doesn't come without reward. It has every major, both negative and positive effect to it, and listen, it's never going to be easy. So this is why we, to be successful, that's why to be really successful, they make it this way. You have to make time to contribute that time to it. So that way you could accomplish that and on many facets, on many realms of understanding. And so with that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. We love you.
Thank you.
And we thank you guys so much for the gift and the opportunity to converse with you guys every day. And I'm just telling you now, Devin and I are telling you right now, season 2 is going to be crazy.
Yeah, no, I'm excited, brother.
We're going to
super excited,
really blow your minds. And if you guys are into a journey, then you've come to the right place. So with that being said, thank you for watching, and we love you very much. Take care, guys.
Thank you.